Hello, I'm Hope Logan. I am an actor on Bold and the Beautiful, and many people really love both me and our Bold and the Beautiful drama. So I've come here to share updates about my beloved Bold and the Beautiful. Everyone, please subscribe and support me. If you do, I will keep coming every day with new updates for you. The world of The Bold and the Beautiful may be standing on the edge of one of its most unexpected storylines in years. And if recent clues are to be believed, the glamorous world of high fashion could soon be overshadowed by secrets, deception, and murder. Longtime showrunner Brad Bell recently dropped a fascinating comment during an interview that immediately sent fans into detective mode, hinting that a murder mystery could be on the horizon for the CBS daytime drama. It was the kind of revelation that instantly stood out because The Bold and the Beautiful has always centered on romance, family rivalries, corporate battles, and emotional betrayals far more often than cold-blooded murder. With Luna Nozawa seemingly out of the picture and Sheila Carter appearing to have embraced redemption, the idea of another deadly mystery initially sounded almost unbelievable. Yet, the more carefully viewers examined Bell's remarks, the more it began to feel as though they weren't simply hearing a casual example, but perhaps the first glimpse of a major upcoming storyline. Suddenly, every recent interview, every promotional clip, and every cryptic social media post started to look like pieces of a much larger puzzle waiting to be solved. The intriguing moment unfolded during a CBS-sponsored podcast hosted by Rebecca Budig, who currently portrays Taylor Hayes on The Bold and the Beautiful. Joining the conversation was Greg Ricart, known to Days of Our Lives fans as Leo Stark, and remembered by longtime The Young and the Restless viewers for his memorable run as Kevin Fisher. As the discussion turned toward the unique experience of acting on daytime television, Rebecca reflected on how soap operas allow performers to explore nearly every imaginable emotion and genre. She spoke enthusiastically about portraying laughter, heartbreak, rage, and everything in between, celebrating the incredible variety that soap storytelling offers. Brad Bell quickly agreed with her observation before casually adding a sentence that immediately caught everyone's attention. He remarked that one moment actors might be involved in a murder mystery, and the next they could be performing something completely campy and ridiculous. The statement sounded simple enough, yet it immediately raised a tantalizing question that has lingered ever since. Was Bell merely listing random examples of the different styles soap operas embrace, or had he accidentally revealed that a genuine murder mystery is already in development for The Bold and the Beautiful? That single sentence was enough to ignite speculation across the fan community, because if Bell truly let something slip, the series could soon take a dramatic turn unlike anything viewers have seen in quite some time. As if that interview wasn't enough to fuel the excitement, another suspicious clue emerged only a day earlier through the show's official Instagram account, making the timing feel almost too perfect to ignore. The promotional video focused on Kimberlyn Brown, the legendary actress behind the unforgettable Sheila Carter, as she energetically jogged up a staircase before casually flipping through her script to preview Sheila's upcoming scenes. The playful behind-the-scenes clip then showed Kimberlyn pouring herself a martini while wearing an unmistakably mischievous smile that practically screamed trouble. Even more revealing were the bold words splashed across the screen declaring that Kimberlyn was warming up to kill in her scenes, with the word kill emphasized in dramatic capital letters. The accompanying caption added even more fuel to the fire by teasing viewers with the ominous warning, "Don't say we didn't warn you." For longtime fans who know Sheila's bloody history, that combination of imagery, wording, and timing hardly seemed like an innocent coincidence. Instead, it felt like the show was deliberately planting seeds of suspense, inviting viewers to wonder whether Sheila's darker instincts are finally preparing to resurface after months of apparent redemption. If that is indeed the direction the show is heading, it would mark the return of a type of storyline that has been absent from the canvas for quite some time. The last major murder mystery revolved around homeless Tom and bartender Hollis, with Tom's death becoming the central mystery that eventually exposed Luna Nozawa as the killer. Those victims, however, were never considered core members of the cast. Tom had essentially been introduced for the purpose of dying, while Hollis, despite being a familiar face, remained more of a supporting figure than a central player in the ongoing drama. This time, however, the stakes could become dramatically higher if Brad Bell truly intends to build a genuine murder mystery around one of the show's more prominent characters. Although The Bold and the Beautiful has rarely ventured into this territory, soap operas have repeatedly proven that no character is ever completely safe. A shocking death involving someone deeply woven into the lives of the Forresters, Logans, or Spencers would instantly reshape the emotional landscape of the series and create months of gripping suspense. One of the biggest clues pointing toward that possibility comes from another interview in which Brad Bell hinted that something life-changing will occur during the show's upcoming Monaco storyline. Those highly anticipated episodes begin airing on July 29th, and viewers already know that Sheila Carter secretly follows Finn Finnegan and Steffi Forrester to Monaco as she continues obsessing over reclaiming a place in Finn's life. When Belle's comments about a life-changing event are combined with the Instagram hints about killing, it becomes almost impossible not to connect Sheila to whatever dark events may unfold overseas. Sheila has been devastated by losing Deacon Sharp to Taylor Hayes, and her hopes of rebuilding a relationship with Finn have been crushed after he made it painfully clear that Steffi will never allow Sheila into their family. Those emotional wounds could easily reopen the dangerous side of Sheila that has terrorized countless lives over the years. If desperation finally overwhelms her, Monaco could become the perfect setting for another elaborate scheme worthy of Sheila Carter's infamous reputation. Among the most fascinating possibilities is the idea that Sheila stages her own death while cleverly framing Taylor Hayes for the crime. On the surface, Sheila has spent months convincing people that she has truly changed. And remarkably, some of the people who once feared her most have begun believing that transformation. Finn has shown moments of compassion, Deacon has stood firmly by her side, and even Taylor has started lowering her guard. Yet redemption has always been a fragile concept where Sheila is concerned, and history has repeatedly shown that appearances can be dangerously misleading. If she reaches the conclusion that she can no longer have Deacon's love or Finn's acceptance, Sheila may decide that destroying everyone else's happiness is the only victory she has left. By faking her own murder and ensuring that Taylor becomes the prime suspect, Sheila could inflict devastating punishment on everyone who has stood in her way. Taylor would lose her freedom, Steffi would watch her mother face prison, Deacon would lose the woman who has become his emotional companion, and chaos would consume the very family Sheila believes has rejected her. The cruel beauty of such a scheme, at least from Sheila's twisted perspective, is that she could disappear to begin a completely new life while leaving unimaginable devastation behind her. The frightening part is that such a plan would hardly be unprecedented because Sheila Carter has built an entire legacy around manipulating death itself. Time after time, she has managed to convince the world that she was gone forever, only to reappear when everyone least expected it. Faking her death has become one of her signature tricks, making this theory feel entirely believable within the show's history. Yet another variation could be even more elaborate. Rather than pretending to die herself, Sheila could orchestrate Taylor Hayes's apparent death instead, creating an entirely different kind of nightmare. Longtime viewers may vividly remember Taylor's unforgettable history of presumed deaths beginning back in 1994 during Hunter Tylo's era when Taylor was believed to have died in a plane crash. Instead, she survived with amnesia before Prince Omar discovered her, became captivated by her beauty, secretly hid her away inside his palace, and ultimately fell in love with her while the rest of the world mourned her apparent loss. Years later, history repeated itself when Sheila shot both Taylor and Brooke Logan in 2002. Once again, Prince Omar secretly whisked Taylor away, replacing her body with a lifelike dummy placed inside a coffin, so everyone believed she had truly died. Taylor remained missing for 3 long years before finally being revealed alive in 2005, proving that the impossible has happened before on this very soap. That extraordinary history opens the door to another wild but surprisingly plausible theory. Sheila could once again reach out to Prince Omar and convince him to kidnap Taylor, allowing the two of them to stage another fake death that removes Taylor from everyone's lives without technically killing her. Such a scheme would serve both of their twisted desires. Omar would once again possess the woman he has obsessively pursued, while Sheila would eliminate her romantic rival and potentially clear the path toward winning Deacon back. Naturally, if Taylor appeared to have been murdered, Sheila would immediately become one of the leading suspects due to her long and violent history with Taylor. However, Sheila has always excelled at staying several moves ahead of everyone else. If she carefully ensured she was publicly spending time with Deacon or surrounded herself with enough witnesses during the supposed murder, she could establish an airtight alibi that leaves investigators unable to prove her involvement. Considering the Bold and the Beautiful's long history of fake deaths, hidden identities, and miraculous returns, revisiting that kind of storyline would certainly not be beyond the realm of possibility. Of course, Taylor is far from the only character whose fate fans are already debating. If the writers truly want to shock viewers by placing a major character at the center of a murder mystery, R.J. Forrester has surprisingly emerged as one of the names many fans mention first. His recent behavior has frustrated a significant portion of the audience, leading some viewers to openly admit they would not be heartbroken if he suddenly disappeared from the canvas. Should anything happen to Ridge Forrester's son, however, the emotional fallout would be explosive. Ridge has spent so much time portraying Will Spencer as violent and dangerous that he would almost certainly accuse Will immediately if RJ turned up injured or apparently dead. Such accusations would instantly reignite the already volatile feud between the Spencer and Forrester families, escalating decades of rivalry into something even more personal and destructive. Realistically, it is difficult to imagine Will deliberately murdering RJ, but appearances have often been misleading in soap operas. Perhaps circumstances would simply make it seem as though Will attacked him, only for the truth to emerge later when RJ unexpectedly returns alive after everyone has already reached the wrong conclusions. Another character who appears especially vulnerable is Remy, whose future on the series feels increasingly uncertain. Following the disturbing deepfake campaign he orchestrated to torment Electra Forrester, Remy has earned the hatred of nearly everyone around him. That makes him an obvious candidate for a shocking exit, but his manipulative nature suggests another possibility that could be even more sinister. Rather than becoming a genuine murder victim, Remy might stage his own death and carefully frame Deke in an act of bitter revenge. If Remy truly cannot accept Deke's refusal to rekindle their relationship, he may embrace a twisted philosophy that if he cannot have the person he wants, then nobody else deserves that happiness either. Faking his murder would become the ultimate punishment, forcing Deke to fight for his freedom while carrying the weight of a crime he never committed. It would be exactly the kind of elaborate deception that thrives in the heightened emotional world of daytime drama. One final possibility centers around Miss Dillon, whose renewed closeness with Will Spencer has quietly begun changing the dynamics of several relationships. Electra has already confirmed to Dillon that she cannot pursue a future with Will because of Ridge's outrageous and deeply inappropriate ultimatum, creating an emotional opening that Dillon seems increasingly willing to explore. If Dillon and Will begin rebuilding their connection, tragedy could strike before their relationship truly has a chance to flourish. Should Dillon suddenly disappear or apparently become the victim of murder, suspicion could easily fall on Electra, particularly if someone overhears her warning Dillon to stay away from Will. Even though Electra has never shown any desire to physically harm Dillon, appearances alone might be enough to convince investigators that jealousy motivated the crime. Yet the real mastermind could be someone far more dangerous lurking in the shadows. That possibility leads directly back to Luna Nozawa, whose unexpected return would instantly transform the entire mystery into something even darker. Luna has already demonstrated how far she is willing to go when obsession takes control, making her more than capable of orchestrating a chilling scheme designed to eliminate her romantic competition. She could either genuinely kill Dillon or stage an elaborate fake murder before planting carefully manufactured evidence that points directly toward Electra. From Luna's disturbed perspective, the plan would solve every obstacle standing between herself and Will Spencer. Dillon would be gone, Electra would face prison for a murder she never committed, and Will would suddenly find himself emotionally vulnerable and seemingly alone. That twisted fantasy perfectly reflects the dangerous logic inside Luna's mind, making her return one of the most shocking possibilities fans can imagine. Whether Brad Bell truly revealed an upcoming murder mystery or simply teased viewers with an offhand remark remains impossible to know for certain, but all of these possibilities demonstrate just how much suspense that single comment has already created. If The Bold and the Beautiful truly embraces a full-scale murder mystery, and especially if it removes one of the show's more frustrating characters along the way, it could become one of the most entertaining, unpredictable, and talked about storylines the series has delivered in years.